Hello, I'm Chuck and welcome back to my channel. God. Hello, I'm Chuck and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the New York City Subway versus the Metro Subway in Los Angeles. I'm from the East Coast. I was born upstate New York. New York City versus upstate New York. Can't compare them. There's no comparison. To be honest with you, they should just chop New York City off and it should be its own entity, its own state. We have to suffer upstate in all the laws, all the taxation, every decision that's ever possibly made for a population of between 2,000 and 40,000 people to a city that is so corrupt. The politicians, the court systems, the prosecutors, the district attorneys are, so off base down there for our way of living up here. You can't even compare it, So, when we traveled to New York City, and when I was a child, I remember, that they actually put coins in the turnstile, so the turnstile would move and it would open up. Of course, you got to pay to ride the subway. Why would you not think that? So today, they don't use coins. I don't think you can put a coin in one of them things if you try. So you don't have a credit card, you don't have one of that card, you ain't getting on that subway today. So I moved out to Los Angeles around 2012, and I love Los Angeles. It is not New York City in the one least little teeny tiny bit. The people are so friendly and open out there. Not saying that New York City has very friendly people. Absolutely. Beautiful, friendly people. The people are friendly. The CEOs, they're like pigs on a wing. You go to California, in Los Angeles, I didn't even know I was in a big city. They have one section that is a metropolis, and it's not that big. It's not like, in New York City where you see 50 red lights all turn green. You stop. We went 20 blocks. Now all the cars go this way. Green again. You're walking in Times Square and say, well, you get out the sidewalk, come on to McDonald's, you better start walking. You don't start walking, you're gonna get mowed down. And so then moved to Los Angeles. I didn't know what to expect, The only thing I knew about Los Angeles is what I ever saw in the news, and if you know the news, it ain't good. They show you one thing on the news about Los Angeles. No, two things. They show you the crime, and they show you the homelessness, right? New York City's got no homelessness, right? News don't show that. Can't be any homeless in New York. News don't show that. The news has everything so far off base. I have not watched the news media since 1960. I was sick to my stomach every time you saw something on the news. It's death, it's degrading, it's crime. That's how they make their money. They're like the bottom feeders. All these people that go to school to be a journalist and they think they're, so smart. And they're just bottom feeders, If something happens and they're like flies, they're all over it, man, And not to get off base, but one of the worst things about the news is a story they could cover in 30 seconds, they drag it on. They drag it on to the next day. Dude, here's the story, move on. We got 100 stories. No, the news, if you watch Veritas, you will see that they have a big narrative. It's all about ratings. It's not what you need to hear. It's not what I need to hear. It's what's going to make these rich. I have a cinnamon chart a cinnamon chart. Oh, because I don't want to use any bad words on YouTube, so the people that are in charge, I guess impure, misbegotten, imperfect people, they're not looking out for you and I in the news media. All they want is the most grossest news that's going to make them the headlines for the day. And they're going to drag it out. They could put all the news on there, tell it, move on, but no. So I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I don't need to be told things twice. 3 times, I'm done. Tell me once, move on. Probably losing you now because I'm dragging this out. So I get to Los Angeles and I go to ride the subway, and I was a student at that time, and I got a student pass. It was like $80 for the month, $80. And I started thinking about my car payment, my insurance payments, car payments, insurance payments, gasoline, all in New York State. It was terrible, insurance, a couple $100 a month, I go out there, get a quote, she said $30 a month. How come things are so expensive in New York? Because New York sucks. Because we have to pay up here, upstate, out west, for New York City rates. Our rents are around $500 up here. New York City, $2,500. So everything that is related to New York, upstate, we have to suffer for our high insurance rates because of New York City. They lock you in. So why Los Angeles is not the same way insurance rates, I don't know, and I'm not going to argue her ass. I just know it was like I was flabbergasted. $30 a month, you got to be kidding me. It's like, what? I've been paying all this crap money to this New York State for all these years. New York State sucks. I love New York. I hate New York. I live in a state that they have to tell me I love it. I live in a state that they have to tell people it's so bad that they got to have these big signs. I love New York. If you got a good state, you don't have to advertise that, Well, yeah, our state sucks. New York State sucks so bad it's not even funny. So I go to ride the metro out there, and I got, my card. Here is LA's transit system. Big, giant, you used to have a turnstile. Now they get, the turnstile you might be able to hop over. Whoa. They've stopped that. This is FEMA grade barriers. It's just like you're locked out, man. You ain't getting through this barrier, as this guy's showing you. So I go to Los Angeles, and there's no turnstile, there's no anything. I was like, what? The guy goes, yeah, but you still got to tap your card because it registers, and if there's police that'll stop you. I don't know who told me this, but the friend says, oh yeah, make sure you do tap it, even though there's no turnstiles because it's registered, and then they got these little meters that they can tell that your card is good and you're on your way. But that's only hit and miss. These people aren't around. It's like a sting operation. They'll get together, okay, let's go hit, Metro Red. And, I probably rode the subway hundreds of times out there, and I very rarely ever saw the police. Kind of glad when you do. A little bit of protection ain't bad, But I don't think I ever had my card read. Beats ran out of battery power. We're back. As I was talking about the turnstiles, I hit my card, and there's no turnstile. I was like, you have to stop, turn around, and look. And I'm in here. Los Angeles is one of the biggest cities in the United States. And I'm thinking, wow, no turnstiles. I go, this is amazing. It's like an honor system amongst the citizens to be honest and pay. Do what you're supposed to do. You don't need these big, massive, huge, clunky gates to stop you if you don't have the money and don't get through. That's New York City. New York City does not treat you like a human being. Ask anybody I've never been to court there, but ask anybody that's ever been to court. These prosecutors are like vicious sharks they've got, like, a shark has no brain. That's what these guys are. They will go after you tooth and nail, and they will, if you drop anything in the water, you're chung to them. They're going to get you, they're going to swallow you up. Try to cross a bridge without paying. Try to ride a bus without paying. Try to ride the subway without paying. You ain't going to do any of that. They do not want to treat you like a human being in New York City. All you are to them is a number and go. So I'm in Metro Los Angeles, and I was like, son of a bitch, man. They treating me like a human being. And that's the underground metro. Now they have the upper trolley metros that run around. Same thing. You go up onto this big giant boarding platform, and they have a little tap thing, and you tap your card. Here comes the subway train, the doors open and you get on it. Nobody on that train, from the passengers to the conductor driving it, nobody knows if you paid or not. It's an honor system. Honor. So we pay, we tap and we pay, but every once in a while there are people that don't pay, of course. You got to imagine there's probably people that are going to tax the system, test the system, and never ever pay. What can you say? It's an open system, It's an honor system. It's going to happen. But I'll be honest with you. I had my student card, and I don't know how long I was in Los Angeles, like 3 years, 4 years. I dreaded moving back to New York. Unfortunately, I could make more money here. I never should have left. I'm going to go back somewhere. I'm going to get out of this state. Vermont's looking really nice right about now. But it's not warm. It's not 80 degrees in January like Los Angeles at Venice Beach. And that is an experience. So with the metro system, I got to say it was one time that I had to get to school, or I had to get to work. I forget which, one or the other. And my money on my card ran out. And your options are to get a daily card, $5 or $10, whatever, a week card or whatever. And I went up on that platform and went to the card machine and did a fake wand over the meter thing just in case somebody was looking. It's like, here comes the trolley car, the doors open up. I walk on it. I haven't paid. The doors closed. Takes you where you gotta go. Now I'm thinking this is going to be the day that there's going to be the police standing there and be checking the car. You get off the thing. Nope. One time I did get off. I think I actually legally paid because most of the time I didn't pay. And just as I got off, I saw one of the cars stop, and like 4 or 5 of the guys get out, and they're heading to the terminal so they can check, and that's all they do. If you were riding it, they're not going to arrest you. You get a ticket, and you go to court, you pay the ticket. I'll tell you what, in Los Angeles, don't get a ticket, because I went to court, and there was something about my license, and everybody's going in front of the court, guilty, I'm guilty. I've never heard anybody in court, ever, in New York courts, ever say guilty. It's not, you're always not guilty, and you're proceeding from there. Everybody in this courtroom's going guilty, and I get to me. How do you play it? I'm not guilty, huh? Oh, yes, I thought I hit, so I thought it broke something. Judge looks up. Of course, the court's silent anyway, but it was all of a sudden it got to a dead silence. It's like, holy cow. You're not supposed to say not guilty in a Los Angeles court, no matter what. But I was not guilty. It was something with my license, I forgot. And I truly, I'll fight if I'm not guilty. I'll fight till they chop my head off. And that was funny. And another time, the fine was $100 and the surcharge was $499, bringing it to a total of over $750 for a ticket that one was a parking meter violation. So beware. Those fees are outrageous. A girl didn't turn her wheels to the curb on a hill. They gave her a ticket the first time. The second time it happened, they towed her car, and it's a $1,500 mandatory fee to get your car out of impound once it's towed. $1,500. She couldn't afford $1,500. So for the matter of just turning your wheels to the curb, she lost her car, not being able to afford it. So I'm not saying Los Angeles is a perfect system, because the corporate government structure there is as corrupt or more than New York City, as you would imagine. A big city is going to be full of corrupt district attorneys, prosecutors, everybody. I believe all governments are corrupt across the entire world. Prove me wrong. So, bottom line is New York City treats you not like a human being. They treat you like a number. Just like in an Iron Maiden, I am not a number. Yes, you are in New York City. In Los Angeles Metro, phenomenal. I was shocked. And you could probably sneak onto the bus, or even, if you were like short, you could probably talk to the bus driver. I remember once I was short and I was like, hey man, you see me on this bus all the time. I'll make it up to you next week after I get paid. You think the driver's gonna remember you? I'm saying, he looks at me like, dude, I see millions of people all the time. I don't remember you riding the bus last month at all. But he's like, get on, Can you imagine a bus driver in New York City giving you the thumb? Go on, get on the bus, Understand you're a little crybaby, you ain't got any money today, but I'm not going to kick you off the bus, You're a human being, I understand. I'm a bus driver. I'm not on my bus driver's wages. I probably don't have enough money sometimes for certain things too, so I'm not going to bust your balls. Dude, get on the bus, sit in the back so nobody sees you. So, I can't say enough about LA's metro system being on the otter. I did see there was a thing that back in 2006 they were going to install turnstiles and all these things to be completed. If they did, it was supposed to be completed by 2009. I was there around 2012 to 2015. I didn't see any turnstiles. If they did, I don't know where they were. You just walk through. But, searching on the internet, I was trying to find a couple things to take a look at pictures of it, and here's a guy named David Nazar News. DNN. David Nazar News. He's on YouTube. I'm going to have a little, here, right there. This guy. This guy's a journalist. These are the guys that think they're so smart, but they're literally bottom feeders of the ocean to get anything they need to do to get the story. They're a shark. So here this guy is reporting on the metro system in Los Angeles. And, okay, that's cool. Check it out. And he's like, well, look how easy it is to get free on the metro system. And one guy's coming out. He walks through. Oh no, I'm on the inside, and I didn't pay. Dude, did you realize that number one, you just committed a crime. It's a crime to not pay, right? Two, you're showing everybody in the world how to do this. So, hey, why have I been paying for the subway if I can ride it for free? Because you can't ride it for free. That's what this guy's not telling everybody. It's illegal. You can't ride a thing for free. It's an honor system. They expect you to be on your honor and pay, like most people do. But this idiot, David Nazar News, I've watched the 70s show for years and called this son an idiot 5,000 times. So I hope that that's acceptable on YouTube. If not, I'm probably going to get a channel strike or something. Who knows? I'll remove the video. I'll have to re-record it and try to be a little bit more tactful in what I'm saying. But for somebody that thinks they're smart, David Nazar News shows you how to ride the subway for free in Los Angeles. The other guy shows you how in New York City you can't ride the subway for free. You ain't going to get through. David, why don't you take your news camera? Why don't you go down to New York City? Why don't you try to ride the subway and show us how to ride New York City subway for free? Because you can't. It just flabbergasts me how people in the news industry think they're so smart. So here's the moral of the story, and I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. That's what got me started into a 9-speaker, 33-driver home theater system with 2 subwoofers. When that dinosaur hit the ground, the Saurus, I said, one sub ain't enough. We gotta get another one. We gotta shake the foundation. So this reporter, David Nazar News, shows everybody how to ride the Metro subway for free. How to break the law. Commit a crime. This is how you do it. And he shows you. Watch me. And just like I said in Jurassic Park, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Words of wisdom from the chuckster. So yeah, just because you can ride the subway for free doesn't mean you should. But it's nice to be treated like a human being and not just have the government hammering every aspect of your life. Another thing that's
really, really outrageous in New York State now is car insurance, Everybody wants to be insured, yes. Unfortunately, Donald Trump did not get the insurance all the way across the country because that really would have brought insurance prices in check. But again, our insurance companies, we have to unfortunately pay high prices because in New York City, 8 billion, 9 billion, 10 billion, million people, whatever it is, we have to suffer up here with high prices. And if everybody has a lapse of insurance, that's why they have the $8 a day. And, that was like so far long ago that it was $8 a day to get it for every day your vehicle is uninsured. I'm surprised New York State, why don't you make it $50 a day? Como, what's wrong with you? It's been that price, I know because it happens to me all the time. It just happened recently because I moved. I forgot to change my address. Went to motor vehicle to get it re-registered. They registered the vehicle, but it wasn't really registered because the next day the insurance was lapsed because I forgot to change it. All for the matter of 2 days. If I was at motor vehicle instead of on Monday, if I went on that Thursday, they would have said, "Oh, can't register your vehicle because it's not insured." I would have called an insurance company. And they would have said, "Hey, yeah, it's uninsured because you haven't paid." "Oh yeah, I moved. I forgot to let you know I moved." "Oh, well, we sent you a letter." "Well, I'm not there. I moved." "Well, forwarding address. It's only forwarded for 30 days. So, why didn't you give me a call?" I spend I spend a lot of money on my phone every month. It's an expensive phone. Some people spend thousands of dollars. iPhones. Say, "Oh, you missed my cable bill?" I'll tell you what, I missed my cable bill by half an hour. They call me 15 times a day. Pay your cable bill. You get sick and tired of them. Miss my car payment. They'll call you until you pay it. You gotta pay it. They keep calling. Miss your insurance payment? See, this is a scam. This is not something that, This is an insurance scam. They want you to lapse. They do not want to call you so you can correct your mistake. They want you to lapse. They want you to go to a motor vehicle. They want you to pay the extra fines and fees and all that garbage, you know. Oh, in California, I was like, insurance, $30 a month. Oh my God, I wanted to cry. It was so cheap. And they're like, well, 1 in 4 drivers is uninsured in California. 1 out of every 4. I'm not prejudiced or anything, not even in the little least tiny bit. I mean, I was riding the bus in California for probably 6 months till I realized I was the only American on that bus. And it was packed. I'm telling you, this bus was full. But when I get on a bus, I don't judge people by their race, creed, or color. I'm in California, man. I'm expecting it to be a beautiful place of all ethnicities of people together, coming together as human beings. And I was right. That is a very inclusive city. The one bus was, you get near Koreatown, well, of course, it's going to be 80% Koreans. I loved it. It was fantastic. All these foreign people, all these beautiful people. So it's not a question of race or anything out there. They treat you like a human being. But with the open border that was before Trump and with Biden, I got to imagine that the uninsured rate in California is not 1 in 4. It's got to be more than that. Yeah, you jump the fence, you end up getting an old clunker. What are you going to pay insurance for? It's ridiculous. So, yeah, California, you're treated like a human being. It's beautiful. Even, I can't say so much about the government because I really try to stay away from that. I just know that one of the district attorney in California, the salary of that person is so astronomically higher than any other place in the United States by 10 to 15-fold. Why does he get to be so much money more than a district attorney in our city, upstate? We got the courts in these small towns. To be a judge, you don't even have to take the normal judge test that you would have to take in a bigger city. But they could still fry you with the same penalties. Even though they don't have the schooling and the training, they have the tools to put somebody away for life. But they don't have the training behind them to make that decision. So these are some of the drawbacks we have in these rinky-dink towns up in New York. At least if you get in trouble in the bigger cities, your judge is going to have a little more common sense up there than another judge in a smaller city. So kudos to California, Los Angeles for being one of the biggest cities in the world. I thought I was in Clifton Park, Latham at the most. At the very, very most. That's what I thought. Versus Florida, you can't compare Los Angeles to Florida either. Unless you like humidity and you like to be stuck to. I like Florida. I love Florida. I love the white sand. I love the warm weather. I do not like the humidity all the time. I took a shower when I lived in Florida. I lived in Miami, Port St. Pierce, Jupiter, Bradenton, Sarasota. I like the West Coast a little bit better with the white sand. But the humidity in Florida, unbearable. You're just a wet rag. The bugs, I never saw a flying cockroach. Well, I'll tell you this, I saw a flying cockroach. Take a landing, it looked like a 747 coming in the door. I'm like, oh my God, man. I'm getting weapons out. My wife, what are you doing? I said, I don't know, man, but I got the biggest thing I could find. I saw something come in for a landing behind the TV set. Where you getting it? Where you get us? Doing construction, you remove paneling off of a wall that's on like a block wall. You got the slats on there, the furring strips, and you rip the piece of paneling off. Every cavity in between the furring strips had cockroaches in it. And I'm talking monsters. I'm talking palmetto bugs, what they call them. The first time I seen one, I was lifting up a piece of insulation, and this big giant tank. Guy, what's wrong? I go, I just saw something, man, and it's huge. He goes, it's probably a cockroach. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I started flipping out. Ripping the panel out. All these cockroaches are all over the place. He's like, dude, you better get used to it. And he fucking smashes one with its hand. I was like, oh my God. I saw a pretty big bug in California once. Matter of fact, I literally had a heart palpitation. I saw this monster thing on the floor, and I'm telling you, it made that palmetto. It looked like it would have ate that palmetto bug, I captured it and got rid of it, and I went and bought some bug spray. I'll tell you what, bugs scared the hell out of me. So, but there was never any humidity. I mean, and there's always a breeze if you're in Los Angeles. You're not far from the beach. I think maybe a 15-minute ride. If you really want to cool down, drive to the ocean, and it's even if it's 90, it's still cool because you have a
breeze constantly hitting you. So 90 is perfect. I loved 90 degrees in California. Get a hat so you don't burn. It was 90 would be like 110 here. One time I was working doing construction outside and the thermometer hit right around 103, 104, and I noticed that those temperatures it's kind of like Phoenix, Arizona. It starts to get unbearable, and I was like, hey, we take snow days in New York. I'm gonna take a heat day here, 103. It doesn't get that hot that much, so I'm gonna take the day. That's it. I'm calling it. We're taking a heat day. It's not a snow day, but it's a heat day, and you hit the air conditioner and you're all set. But yeah. And I remember another time I went to New York City to see a band called Yes in 1980, 80-ish, and there was about 4 or 5 of us, and I remember we were passing beers in the cars on the highway to each other, and I remember one guy didn't make the catch, and yeah, we were young, crazy, dumb, and stupid, and remember we went to McDonald's, and of course you've been on the road, and we had to go to the bathroom so bad, especially after all those beers, right? Can't wait to get to McDonald's, and they're like, there's no bathrooms in here. We're in one of the biggest cities in the world, New York City. We're in McDonald's on Times Square, and you don't have a bathroom for your customers. No. That's how they treat you. To me, New York City it's a great place to visit. I always thought I would want to live there, and then I lived in Los Angeles, and wow, you're treated like a human by everybody. Oh, there's another funny story. Driving to work, and my buddy, get on A1A and or 101, and you're driving, all of a sudden you come to a stop, and then it's stop and go. Okay, so I got to experience some of the Los Angeles traffic. I didn't like it, but it's 85 degrees out. You smoke a joint, okay, we're good. Traffic could be stopped for forever. And so you stop and go, stop and go. All of a sudden, somebody's trying to get in. He waves them in. All right, we all wave in people once in a while in New York. Once in a while. And stops again, let somebody else in. We go a car lane, let somebody else in. Well, Jesus Christ, we ain't gonna move forward if he keeps letting everybody in, but he's letting everybody in. Next day, on the way to work, we get to the stop and go, stop, go, let somebody in, stop, go, let somebody in, stop. About the third day, I'm like Tony, I don't be obliged to answer. What are you doing? You let everybody in. He goes, well, yeah. Which, what do you do in New York? We cut them off. Man, my bumper is on that guy's bumper up front. You ain't gonna get an egg between us. Somebody get in? Gotta be kidding me. I'll move closer if you think you're gonna get in. Hey, there's getting in, there's the sign. You ain't getting in nowheres. That's so funny. So I regained a whole new concept of life, love, liberty by moving to Los Angeles than I ever thought I would have in New York. I mean, And this is a rat race. You get behind that wheel, they tell you to buckle up for a reason. They want you strapped in. You got to be locked in because, and that's normal driving. When you get to New York City, you can't even drive in New York City on a learner's permit. I mean, it's brutal, brutal, brutal. Let somebody in. Oh my God. The thought of it even is fun. There ain't nobody gonna let nobody lets nobody in anywhere at all. That just is, that's a law. It's written down. You will smash that car in front of you before you let somebody get into you. That ain't gonna happen. So it took me a while to get used to, but when I started driving, it was great because as soon as you let somebody in, as soon as you need to get in, somebody lets you in. That's how it is. It took me a while to get used to, but it's a great system. It's not like the news media portrays it to be. Not even close. Not even a little iota. You know, driving is very cordial out there. Everybody looks out for the other guy, and everybody lets everybody in. What a cool concept, way of living. I don't know if it's because it's so nice that it's so hot that people are just so friendly that way. They know if they don't let you in, you're not ever going to get it. I don't know, but it took me a little bit to get used to. Sort of like when, you know, you're stopped in traffic and you look in your rearview mirror for some reason. I don't know why you gotta look in your mirror. Oh, you see something happening. It's like, oh my God, here comes a motorcycle riding on the white line. He's passing everybody. Vroom! We're all stopped, and this guy on the motorcycle just rides on the white line. I was like, I would never ever do this, but you just feel like dooring the guy, you know, as he gets up to you. You think you're going to cheat the system, buck in front of everybody, you know. And my buddy's like, don't ever do that. He goes, it's illegal to ride in the center lane. What? Legal? You're kidding me. It's illegal to do U-turns. It's illegal to ride in the center lane. As long as you're doing under, I think, like 20 miles an hour, the motorcycle get the center lane. And, well, you want to be smart? Avoid traffic, buy a motorcycle, you can do it too. You don't have to be stuck sitting there. You want to get somewhere faster, get a partner, get in the diamond lane, and go. Do not try to be a trickster and put the dummy there. They'll catch you. A couple things they do look for. California Highway Patrol, CHP, great, outstanding officers. I respect the law. I respect CHP. But abide by their rules. They're not that hard. They're not that many, but just abide by CHP rules, and you're good to go driving. Peace out.